We'll start with video number 1. Let's go.
Greetings, motherfuckers! My name is Sam, and today I'm going to be talking all about, well, a whole bunch of different things, because today's topic is randomized, baby! Yes, over 100 facts about all manner of different things, ranging from high-speed car chases and mythological squirrels, all the way to anti-incest apps and vengeful Finnish pizzas. Basically, it's the 101 facts equivalent to a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Well, unless you look at that little menu that comes with them, but that's not the point, okay? Stop your sass. But which aftershave are big cats obsessed with? Why did Vikings feed their wounded warriors onion soup? And what's the best way to get red wine stains out of a man-sized Wonder Woman costume? Asking for a friend who's also called Sam. Oh, I didn't have to say that bit, did I? Anyway, 2 out of 3 of those questions are going to be answered, so sit back, make yourself comfortable, and let the randomness wash over you like a lava as we explore 101 facts about anything and everything, I guess. Number 1. Back in feudal Japan, wealthy lords deliberately built their homes with squeaky floors, known as nightingale floors, in order to make it more difficult for ninjas to walk in and, you know, kill them. The way I stop ninjas from killing me is by living in the 21st century, and it seems to do the trick. Number 2. Honey is the only food product that never goes bad. Honey that was buried with the pharaohs in ancient Egypt is still pretty safe to eat. Number 3.
That first one about feudal Japan, that was pretty awesome. I did not know that. So and it makes a lot of sense too, like squeaky floors. Like, you could hear that, especially in the dead of night. You can definitely hear squeaky floors like that. So that definitely, I can completely understand why they would do that. And kudos to them for thinking 2 steps ahead.
3. In the 1830s, ketchup was sold as medicine. Who knows what for? I mean, presumably it was a cure for not having gloriously tomatoey chips. And yes, I said chips, not fries, America and France. Number 4. A second is called a second simply because it's the second division of the hour by 60, the first division being a minute. This begs the question of why minutes aren't called firsts, but hey, I don't make the time rules, I just follow them. Number 5. The US state of Wyoming only has 2 sets of escalators. I'll admit it, I genuinely thought this was the internet having me on, but apparently it's true. The state is so rural and flat and with such an abundance of open space that buildings tend to be built out rather than up, and any buildings that do have more than one story are serviced by stairs and lifts. Number 6. And
Holy shit, that's insane. I did not know that. That's a really good fun fact there, because so it was in the state of Wyoming. There's only 10 sets of escalators because of how the buildings are constructed, and it has to be stairs. You learn something every day. Moving on.
Antarctica is actually the largest desert in the world, not the Sahara, and no, I'm not having a stroke. This is because deserts are actually areas with very little moisture, and everything in Antarctica is frozen solid, so there is no moisture there. Number 7. There's enough sperm in one single man to impregnate every woman on Earth. Yeah, that's right, ladies. Ugh, that sounded way less gross in my head. Number 8. You may think the famous hashtag that all the kids are using these days is apparently called a pound sign. Well, there's actually an even older term for it. Apparently, the hashtag's scientific name is the octothrope, also known as the octotroph. Number 9. You know the brand of rum named Captain Morgan? My god, my throat is weird. Of course you do, you stinking drunk. Well, there actually was a real-life Captain Morgan. He was a Welsh pirate who later became the Lieutenant Governor of Jamaica. Ah, he made something of himself, that's nice. Number 10. The Vatican Bank is the only bank in the world that enables ATM users to carry out transactions in Latin. It also allows you to get an account summary chiseled in a slab of marble. Okay, that one isn't true, but can you imagine? Number 8.
Okay, that was a little ridiculous, but yeah, most definitely. I have not heard of the majority of these facts. I knew the one about honey not going bad. That one, yeah, I knew that one, but again, I'm still startled about the first one that we saw about feudal Japan. So far, I've only seen one that I haven't really could really care less about, but yeah, like I said, All right, I'm gonna keep going, and then I think that this is extremely, I'd say educational.
11. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a snowflake? Yes, the largest ever recorded snowflake fell in Keogh, Montana in 1887, measuring 15 inches wide, which is in fact larger than some birds, but most planes are, hopefully, larger than 15 inches. Number 12. In 1386, a pig in France, now known as the Sow of Falaise, was dressed in human clothing, tried in court, and publicly executed by hanging. Oh, come on guys, that seems a little extreme. What did the little piggy do? Well, it killed a child by eating its face. Yeah, that'll make you want to hang a pig. Number 13. The scientific name for the western lowland gorilla is gorilla. This fact is of particular significance to me because, well, my full name is Sam. I thought I was the only one. Number 14. In 2012, a British man became so fed up with cold callers bothering him that he changed his name to Tim Price. His logic is that potential callers would see his name on whatever list he's on and think, nah, sod that. Number 15.
Oh shit, that's actually pretty. I was pretty smart there. No one wants to mess with that. Like, they probably skip that name all the time. Wow, you know what? I should start doing. I get so many of those telemarketer calls that's not a bad idea right there. And the scientific name for that gorilla. All right. Talk about lazy there, huh? Damn. I mean, they couldn't even do like the first part of the name scientific and then make it like gorilla, but no, they went with the full same name 3 times. Shout out to those scientists. I hope everyone's having a great day. Moving on. I'm loving this video.
The average person will produce enough saliva over the course of their lifetime to fill 2 full-size swimming pools. Let's hope whatever piece of information that fact replaced in your brain wasn't very important.
Hey Munin, good morning. Hope you're having a great day. Great Saturday too. That was... and it's crazy because I just said how much I'm loving this video. I mean, I still like it a lot, but this fact about saliva, that while it does make sense, and it's good to know, that is... Whoa. Holy crap.
Number 16. There are 5 temples in the Japanese city of Kyoto that have ceilings covered in bloody footprints. The ceilings are made by the floorboards of a castle where a group of samurai warriors killed themselves rather than be killed or captured by enemy forces that were quickly closing in. Most of the bloodstains appear to be fairly amorphous marks, but you will find the occasional bloody footprint if you look hard enough, you little sickos.
Crazy, because then this goes hand in hand with the first one that we saw about feudal Japan and the squeaky floors. So these soldiers, they thought 2 steps ahead, literally 2 steps ahead, and went through the roof, and that's why there's bloody footprints on the roofs of these temples. All right, shout out to them for overcoming the squeaky floors.
Number 17. The planet of Saturn is so low in density that it could float in water, assuming you could find a big enough bucket to hold it in, hypothetically. In reality, if you did have a bucket big enough in which to dunk the entire planet of Saturn, its huge atmosphere would dissipate and its rocky core would likely sink. Yes, that's right, shockingly, Saturn cannot exist as it does now while immersed entirely in water. Number 18. Larry Page and Sergey Brin once offered to sell Google to the web company Excite for less than $1 million in 1999. But the morons over at Excite turned them down. Google is now worth several $100 billion. Silly Excite, they should get more excited for things like this.
Fun fact, in addition to this, there's actually, I mean, this is not the only instance of people that were offered a company at one point and they turned it down. So the famous one is Blockbuster. Blockbuster was offered Netflix, and they didn't see the potential in Netflix because they thought that their business was everlasting. And moving on to 2022, where's Blockbuster? Oh, but a memory that we all have, a great memory that we like to share between one another. People post pictures of like old like Blockbuster like the hardcovers where they used to put like the VHSs and DVDs, and it's a memory. And albeit Netflix isn't doing that great right now, they're still a pretty big business. So that's a pretty famous example of a company that was offered something that they didn't believe in at the moment, but ended up changing the game of. Netflix changed the game when they were the first streaming service that offered like movies for a membership, for a subscription. That was, hell yeah, that everyone emulated Netflix after that point. Now we have major channels that have their own streaming services for their own channels, and they have like their own shows there and whatnot. And it's a thing now. It's becoming a requirement to be able to stay in the media game. So, yeah, like I said, that's a pretty famous example of that happening. Moving on.
Number 19. There's an opera house located on the US-Canada border where the stage is in one country and about half the audience is in the other. I bet customs there is an absolute nightmare. Number 20. For every human scurrying around on Earth, there are roughly 1.6 million ants, numbering somewhere around 100 trillion ants. Isn't that cool? Kinda gross, but cool.
I'm not an ants fan. Sorry. At all. And there are seasons here where they come in droves. Yeah. It's that, like, I can do, like, we don't get insects like that here except for spiders. Like, I don't understand, like, what is it that spiders have in this backyard? But the other one is ants, and while we keep it very clean in here, it's hard to combat them because they come in such big quantities, and you can't really leave any. It's like even the most minimum drop of anything that could attract them, they start coming out from places that you thought they wouldn't even fit, or that they were closed too, because it's supposed to be sealed like with paint or whatnot. So hey SG, how are you today? Hope you're doing great, and hope you're having a great Saturday. We're doing some 101 facts about anything and everything. I think we're on number 21 now, and they just said that for every amount of human beings, there's double the amount of ants in the world. So it's like 1 trillion ants. So that's where we are. I'm doing pretty good, SG. Grateful, loving life, happy to be here. Moving on.
Number 21. Speaking of ants, by the way, in what is possibly one of the strangest experiments ever conducted, a group of German scientists once attached individual pig hairs to the legs of ants to act as stilts, in order to see whether or not they could find their home by counting their steps. The ants with stilts did in fact overshoot their nest by roughly 50% as a result, proving that tiny animals use some form of internal pedometer to find their way home. Number 22. More than 1 million coins are thrown into Rome's Trevi Fountain every year. The money is regularly collected and used to fund a supermarket for the poor and needy. Number 23. When Britain changed the packaging for standard paracetamol...
I hope he doesn't mention this, but in any of these facts, because again, I only skimmed through the video to kind of get a glimpse of what it is, but I don't watch it because I want to react and discuss it with you guys. But adding to that coin thing, especially now that we're in this whole coin shortage situation, people just hoard coins. That's the thing. People have been hoarding coins. You probably know someone that has a bucket full of coins at their home in the span of your lifetime. Matt Gaming, thank you so much for that raid.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for that raid. And I hope you're having a great day.
Thank you. You're fuck too kind.
Love that. Thank you very much. Again, Matt Gaming, hope you're having a great day. Hey, Tacos, how are you doing today? Oh, he had a bunch buried in his yard. I'll give you a little fun fact. So, I'm from the Dominican Republic, and you know that back in the day, there was a lot of pirating. A lot of pirates. Pirating. A lot of pirates. So, I know someone that their family members were building a pool in their backyard. They had like the money to be able to do it. So they were building a pool in the backyard, and they opened while they were drilling. They had people there. They were drilling down and whatnot, and one of them, when they were shoveling something, they were hitting something hard, and they're like, well, I don't know, what is this? And they started shoveling a little more, and they took out a treasure chest. I kid you not. When they opened the treasure chest, it was filled with like gold and a whole bunch of this person made he was rich, dude. That person became instantly wealthy right there, because automatically the country wants to buy that. It belongs to the country, but that's on someone's property, so that's a whole thing. But you get paid a lot of money for that, and there are many cases of people that have found gold and treasure like that. But in this case, it was a treasure chest, and this person found all that in there. And my wife and I know someone else that while digging as well, they found old dolls and stuff like from the Tainos. Like those were the natives from our country, our island. And he found like dolls and relics and stuff like buried really, really, really deep, and it was on his property. So he didn't say anything, but he keeps them. He has like a little museum and stuff. He shows them to people. But yeah, it's really cool to just know that if you really dig in there, and you're lucky enough, you could find treasure. That is pretty sick, Matt Gaming. That's pretty awesome. Hope everyone's having a great day today. No, I mean, and it's. Oh well, yeah, Matt Gaming. Hey Pirate King. Hope you're having a great day. Yeah, I've actually heard of. Well, you know that they say that Escobar had so much money, and he had them stored in apartments that rats used to eat them. So his biggest problem was rat infestation, because they eat money for some strange reason, and that was like the whole. Sorry about that. That was like a whole thing. One of the solutions that they had was burying money, and yeah, like there's people that actually hunt Escobar money like that. So like they dig in places that he could have potentially dug money and whatnot. So I could definitely believe that. I appreciate that, Pirate King. Thank you for that. I rambled on a little bit too much, but yeah, just knowing that, just throwing that out there. You never know if you find treasure like that. And again, this was not like just like this was like a treasure. It looked like something. It looked like a prop from a movie.
Thank you, far too kind.
Oh, SG, thank you for that. I really appreciate that cheer. And yeah, again, it was a treasure chest. Like, it's crazy. Moving on.
From bottles to blister packets, deaths from intentional overdoses fell by a whopping 43%. This is presumably because anyone who wanted to off themselves would have to laboriously push each pill out of the packet one at a time, rather than simply pouring them all out onto a single counter. And it's all thanks to the miracle of profound human laziness, which saves lives. Number 24. In Norse mythology, there's a squirrel named Ratatoskir, who exists solely to carry insulting messages back and forth between a great eagle and a dragon at opposite ends of the mythical world tree known as Yggdrasil. Ratatoskir is a nosy bitch sipping the tea and stirring the pot. Number 25. For a period in 1913, Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Leon Trotsky, Joseph Broz Tito, and Sigmund Freud all lived within 2 square miles of each other in the Austrian capital of Vienna. But it was non-stop parties there. Number 26. Looking around the animal kingdom, it can sometimes feel like humans don't really have any special abilities like a lot of animals have. We can't fly, we're not venomous. Well, some people are. We can't run particularly fast. Where's our cool animal superpower? Well, apart from being uber intelligent, for the most part, humanity is gifted with the power of endurance. Over a long enough distance, no animal can outrun a well-trained human. We use this to our advantage, where we would just chase animals for hours and hours on end until they simply died of exhaustion. Number 27. In 2008, then Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi sparked controversy when he complained about Finnish cuisine, saying he had to endure it, and made snide remarks about marinated reindeer, a delicacy enjoyed in some areas of Finland. In response, a Finnish pizza restaurant called Kotti Pizza created the Pizza Berlusconi, a delectable pizza topped with tomato, cheese, chanterelle, red onion, and of course, reindeer. With their creation, the Finns entered the America's Plate International Pizza Contest and came in first place, pushing the Italian-American squad into second. Oh, what's the finish for burn? Number 28.
Hey, you're right, man, and I think I did.
October of 1994, Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, The Shawshank Redemption, Jurassic Park, and The Lion King were all in theaters at the same time. Number 29. According to experts, tigers, jaguars, and leopards absolutely love the scent of Calvin Klein's obsession for men. In fact, they are so enamored with the fragrance that wildlife photographers often use it to lure big cats out into the open to get a good photo of them. Number 30. When Harrison Ford starred in A New Hope, the first installment of the iconic original Star Wars trilogy, he was paid the not exactly princely sum of $10,000. However, Harrison's pay for his role in The Force Awakens, the first installment of the Star Wars sequel trilogy, was a very princely indeed $20 million. Number 31.
And from 10 to 20 million, 10,000 to 20 million, that's a lot. That's a very good amount. That other fact about the cheetahs and stuff, that being attracted to obsession by Calvin Klein, that's some weird shit right there. It's a good thing I don't wear perfumes, because that's the last thing I would need in my lifetime. But I wonder what particular smell like that's in that perfume attracts them, because it can't be like the whole thing. And obviously it is the whole thing because that's what they use, but there has to be something specific, or one or two or a combination of something that attracts them. I wonder what it is. I'm very curious now. I'm gonna look into it when, like, later on, because that sounds pretty awesome. Like, I really wonder what it is. And if anyone has anyone ever used that perfume or smelled it? I don't think I have. Again, I don't use perfume, so I'm allergic to it. I get really... Yeah, I'm gonna Google it. But it's pretty interesting. Alright, moving on.
In 2013, a Norway-based developer named Peter Swarovski created a phone app called Send Me to Heaven, ostensibly a sports game which would involve throwing one's mobile phone as high in the air as you can. Swarovski said he literally made it with the hopes of destroying as many smartphones as possible, which is probably why Apple promptly banned it from the App Store. Number 32. Despite what you may have assumed, rice doesn't actually need to grow while submerged in water. But since it can survive being cultivated in this way, rice is grown underwater to control weeds and other pests, which means more delicious rice. Number 33. In order to measure gravitational anomalies, NASA has two satellites chasing each other around the Earth, tracking the distance between themselves. These satellites are nicknamed Tom and Jerry. Number 34. Between the late 80s and early 90s, I was born, but enough about that. Former Ukrainian pole vaulter Sergei Bubka repeatedly and deliberately broke his own pole vault world record by slim amounts so he could cash in on the $100,000 world record bonus every time. Over the span of 2 years, he